What is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. We are in the fourth and final round this week, and we've got Dark Magician versus Tri-Brigade. Same Dark Magician player from the previous round, but a different Tri-Brigade player than we saw in round one. If you guys want to see the previous round, I'll leave a link to it up in the top right. But as these guys get started, let's take a look at the poll results. I asked you guys who you thought was going to win. About 250 votes as I'm recording, and 69% of you guys voting for Tri-Brigade, and the remainder of you guys voting for Dark Magician. So no surprise there to see Tri-Brigade winning the poll by almost a landslide, I would say. But Dark Magician definitely getting more support this time around in the poll than last time, and I think that's because you guys saw the absolute waxing this deck did to VW the previous round. And again, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. He did my man Adam very, very dirty with the double Anaconda. But Tri-Brigade going first, opening pretty strong with the Karaz pitching Kit, Kit dumping Nerval, Nerval adding Fractal, as you typically see in a standard opening in Tri-Brigade. And also a reminder, because I know people are going to ask, is this pre or post ban list? It is pre-ban list. These matches were recorded before the ban list was even announced, and that's why the date for these locals are always in the titles, so you guys can know when they were recorded. Which is on September 18th. So we're going to see him go into Farragut. Farragut will bring out the Fractal, which is huge because he's yet to even commit a normal summon at this point, which is really, really strong. Or he might have already committed the normal summon, but still, the deck has so much extension power. Getting into the Bearbrum and Darumadal now, and also we're going to see a Nibiru here. Which almost doesn't matter because he's still going to be able to secure the Revolt. And I think I might have missed it, but I don't think he actually used his normal summon yet. I'm pretty sure that the Farragut brought out the Fractal. So I actually don't even think he's used his normal summon yet, which if that's the case, he still has plenty of room to follow up. And regardless, still getting his search. Yeah, there's the normal summon of Kit. So regardless, still getting the search of Bearbrum too. Doesn't even need to link it off. Just has to hit the graveyard, period. Which is what makes this deck so good. It's so hard to not give the opponent advantage because it's very hard to play around not sending cards to the grave sometimes. You can oftentimes spin one back or bounce one back sometimes, but to make sure you do that to every card is really, really hard. It kind of reminds me of playing against Burning Abyss. Yeah, you can make it a priority to bounce some cards back, but you really can't play around all of them at the end of the day. They will get their effects immediately upon hitting the grave. So luckily for our Dark Magician player, he's not going to do much there after that. The Nibiru, that is. He'll get into Rugal, which is kind of nice because if he does, obviously we know he has the set Revolt. And having the Rugal is going to give him a little bit more flexibility as to when he uses that non-target banish. Which could be very helpful in a matchup that he's not so familiar against. So that's why I think he's gone for this board. Yes, he did get Nibiru'd. Board could have been much better, but this is still a really good end board regardless. And we're seeing the Dark Magic Circle reveal a card or stack the top 3 cards of the deck. And then we're going to see the Magician Souls and sending off a copy of Dark Magician Girl. And we'll see if he's going to go ahead and use the effect of Magician Souls here to send up to 2 spells and traps from his hand or field to the graveyard to go ahead and draw the same number of cards. So we can easily get rid of the circle here if he needs to draw into other extenders or board breaking cards. So we'll see what the move here is going to be. As we know, as we've seen from the previous round, this deck relies, I don't want to say super heavily on Dragoon, but on Anaconda rather. So he does have the super hefty 2 monster requirement to get into Anaconda because we know it's such a hard card to get into. Very, very specific card, right? 2 monsters, by the way. Oh, my bad. They have to be effect monsters, yeah. So extremely difficult card to get into. So I think our Tri-Brigade player is picking up on that. There's 2 monsters on the board. So he's going to go ahead and resolve the Revolt here, going for a Link 4, playing around Nibiru especially, making sure he summons a Link 2 off of the Revolt, and now Magician Souls is going to resolve. So I think he's activating Revolt in response to Magician Souls, sending off the circle to draw. Only 1 here. And he's not using the effect of Shurig because he doesn't need to, because again, he can proc Shurig by using Rugal to summon one out from the grave as a quick effect. and that would allow him to get a non-target banish whenever he wants to now. So he doesn't have to really worry about like losing to spell and trap removal, I guess, because if he didn't have the Rugal there and he strictly had to rely on just the Shurig, he'd have to banish on summon. But now he can sort of trigger it whenever he wants to, which is nice, especially since he was about to draw one card in to the deck, so it kind of plays around any potential cards he could have drawn off of the souls, I guess. And again, also playing preemptively here, I would imagine, because again, this is not a deck he's probably super familiar with. I mean, you don't really often play against a Dark Magician on high rated DB, which my friend on the left, I think he does have over 1,000 rating on DB. Very, very good player. I mean, so is my friend Johnny on the right. Very, very good player as well. But sometimes he likes to get a little outside the box with his deck choices, and this here is no exception. The Dark Magician Sky Striker Rocket deck, definitely taking names at our locals quite often when he isn't playing VW. So it looks like he will, on resolution of Magician Souls here, activate Rugal, and that is going to bring out Kit, and that is going to trigger the effect of Shurig to banish the Nibiru, but our Dark Magician player has the normal summon of the Silver Rocket, and that's going to be linked right into Striker Dragon, which is going to secure the Boot Sector launch. And it's going to activate Boot Sector. It's going to revive one from the grave. And there it is. I think we might see a Dragoon or an Anaconda here. Gets to keep the Magician Souls as well, so that's a bonus. And Anaconda is going to successfully resolve, dumping Red Eyes and the Ultimate Wizard himself. I mean, well, he has one in hand, so it doesn't even need to go from deck. So there is Dragoon, who is actually, in my opinion, the real Ultimate Wizard in terms of, as I said last time, everything. Because I don't think there's any spellcaster that quite stands up to what Dragoon is. And now he could do a lot of damage here with the burn effects of Dragoon. Burning Shurig and Rugal off the board could do a total of 5,300 damage, which would leave him at 27. And Kit is very, very low in attack. So I almost want to say, like, he could low-key kind of go for game here if he had a way to to burn and negate with his Dragoon to get up to 4,000. So I think Kit only has like 500 attack or something, very, very low. So like he could go for the game here, but it's just a matter of how greedy does he really want to be. Because if he burns that that Dragoon negate very, very early on, he could just walk right into a Nibiru, and that would completely punt the game in the other direction. So he will destroy the non-target destroy the Shurig with Dragoon burning for 3,000. He'll get the effect of Shurig, which I believe searched a Beast Warrior Wing Beast from the deck, which is insane. The fact that it can search any one of those cards. And then he'll also destroy the Nibiru token, which he won't take any damage for because the token's original attack is like a question mark, I believe. So you do not take any damage from that. And then he'll just go into the battle phase and attack over the Shurig. And then end phase, the other Kit will get bounced back to the hand because of Shurig's effect. And that will do it for his turn. Now, I feel like you kind of just go for the OTK there because, like, Tri-Brigade at this point, as we know, like, already has so many follow-ups in hand and engrave. And he's already got a Revolt, too. Like, another Revolt. And Kit still on board, banishing 3. Which he could go for a Link 4. And, like, I just don't know what you're like. You have a Dragoon right now, which is all you have to worry about as a Tri-Brigade player. But I mean, potentially another hand trap like Nibiru is also kind of problematic, and that is going to force the Dragoon negate as he banishes 3, and that will trigger Kit. Kit dumps Nerval. Nerval add Fractal. So already loading the graveyard back up again with 3 more materials to do some Link summoning with, or as that's word on the card, special summoning from the extra deck, because it's technically not a Link summon. That's why you can't revolt back the Links that haven't been properly summoned. And I think our Dark Magician player is actually just going to scoop, realizing just how much follow-up his opponent has, and that the Nibiru is not going to be enough on its own. And we are heading into a Game 2 situation, as we do. I want to go ahead and mention a quick shout out to Imperium Duelists. If you guys are interested in picking up amazing playmat, sleeves, deck boxes, dice, or binders, check them out at the link below. And don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use my affiliate link down in the description of all my videos. If you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase goes right back into the channel and helps out a ton at no extra cost to you guys for cards you're already going to be picking up. And with all of that out of the way, let's hop back into the match. One thing I want to bring up really quickly as they get started here in Game 2 is that more like just to add context to why our DM player scooped there. Yes, he did have Nibiru in hand, but our Tri-Brigade player did have a way to play around Nibiru with his given hand. He did have the normal plus the extender. And I believe our Dark Magician player, because I went back and checked the original audio again for context, and he said he should have held the negate for the Dragoon a little later on in the combo and said maybe let him burn his battle phase and then hold the Nibiru for later on. But ultimately, I don't think it mattered either way because our Tri-Brigade player, again, did have a way to play through or around Nibiru completely. So, Dark Magician, in quotes, starting here with a rather Dark Magician, totally Dark Magician engine here. The quick launch into Rocket Tracer, into Striker Dragon, and then we're seeing Striker Dragon effect resolving to go ahead and add the Boot Sector launch. And probably go ahead and play that here shortly as he goes and uses the Striker Dragon to pop itself to add back Tracer. And there's the Boot Sector launch effect to summon out Tracer. And now activating Soul Servant, which this card basically allows you to stack your deck. Any card and put it at the top of your deck that I think any spell or trap, I believe, that has Dark Magician in its name or along the lines of that. And I believe it can banish itself from the grave to allow you to draw a card. So basically, you know, the gimmick there is put any Dark Magician card basically to the top of your deck and then draw that card. And it looks like we're also going to see him chain Rocket Tracer to the Soul Servant, destroying the Soul Servant. So it can summon one from deck, and that is how he's going to get the Silver Rocket out of the deck, and allowing him to basically save resources here. And we'll see what he's going to stack to the deck. It looks like it's going to be a copy of Magician's Rod. So he'll offer the cut, and then that will go right back to the top. And now if he wants to basically draw that card, he can just banish the Soul Servant from the grave to go ahead and draw it, I believe. I don't know if it has a stipulation where it says you can't use it the turn it was sent to the graveyard. I'm not familiar with a lot of the Dark Magician cards other than like Circle, Eternal Soul, and obviously Dragoon, if you want to consider that a Dark Magician card. But as expected, we're going to see him turn those two monsters not into anything else other than Anaconda, paying 2,000. Will it resolve? There's Psyframe Gamma, but ooh, there is a copy of Eagle Booster. And I believe, yeah, I think they were kind of sorting this out here, that the Gamma would still summon. It just does obviously not negate, nor does it destroy the Anaconda because it is currently unaffected by card effects. And then, since he did have 3 spells in grave at resolution, can also now technically not be destroyed by battle too, which is a bonus. So there is the Dragoon. The cost has been paid, as hefty as it is. And I think now we're just going to see him use the pop effect of Dragoon to kill the Gamma, and that'll burn him for 1,000 damage. And now there's Soul Servant in grave. He's going to go ahead and draw a different card than the one he stacked, since the deck was shuffled after resolving the Anaconda. The reason I'm assuming the reason he did that was to just basically save his Boot Sector launch and pop the Soul Servant instead. But now we're going to see him normal summon the Magician Souls. So possibly going to Pot of Greed here in quotes, because he can send off the Boot Sector launch as well as free draw fodder, even if he didn't need to use it this turn. And he may have another spell or trap in hand. I'm not entirely sure. He does. It's an Eternal Soul. So we'll go ahead and get to draw 2 here. Hopefully hand traps of some sort to be able to slow down the Tri-Brigade turn. And I did draw a quick launch, it looks like, which is not terrible, but I don't think it's going to be too good here since I think most of his rocket engine has probably been exhausted. I believe the sole purpose of the engine in this deck anyways, at least my guess, is to establish the Striker Dragon, which can get you Boot Sector, which gives you a target for Rocket Tracer to be able to summon another monster from deck, Try to get to a level 8 Synchro like Savage as we saw the previous round, or just again 2 monsters for Anaconda. And it looks like he will just blow up the driver with the Dragoon and pass turn, burning him for an additional 2,500 damage, because why not at this point? We're going to see him activate Fire Formation Tanky, and yes, this card is still at 3 in this video. I know it's going to 1. Not that it really makes too big of a difference in my opinion, but he'll still go ahead and activate it, searching the Thoroughblade, proving why the Zodiac engine is extremely strong in this deck. The going second capabilities of the Zoo engine in Tri-Brigade is absolutely unmatched, attacking over the Magician Souls for 1,700 damage, and since an Xyz monster did declare an attack this turn, you can go ahead and just slap a 4 material Zeus on the field, activating effect to send. That's going to force the Dragoon, and you can just chain again because, well, Zeus is fair and balanced, baby. And yeah, the Tanky should be gone. That is a misplay. That should be gone. Luckily, it is not going to make too big of a difference here. Board completely cleared on both sides, except for one mysterious set card for our Tri-Brigade player. Wonder what it could be. Our Dark Magician player starting off with Magician Souls, sending a Dark Magician Girl from the deck to the grave to go ahead and put it onto the field. And we know he has a quick launch in hand, so he definitely can at least get a draw here. Actually, no, I think he might have pitched the quick launch for the Dragoon negate. At least trying to stop the Zeus, because, you know, you gotta at least try to stop the Zeus. And it also gets it off the field if you do actually attempt to negate and destroy it, even if they do just chain to it. So we're gonna see him activate Soul Servant here, and that is going again to stack the deck. And this could actually be interesting here, because he could stack the deck for 1 and then draw with Magician Souls if he does have the spell or trap in hand to be able to send, which I'm not sure if he does at this point. And then he can use the Soul Servant Engraved to basically draw another card and still get that draw 2 here to try to fix the hand to be able to combo. Sifting through the grave, he's going to banish Soul Servant to try and draw that Magician's Rod. And the Ash Blossom is not going to let him. And unfortunately, he is going to be forced to pass turn there. So I think the writing is on the wall at this point, as another Tanky is activated. So this is something we will not be seeing in the future. How much of a difference it makes, I guess, is up to you. And it looks like our Dark Magician player is just going to scoop, realizing that the second Tanky is probably going to spell game. And yeah, if you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And I want to give a shout out to our Divine level channel members, and they are Cadillacs84, Pony Stark, Keith Sidgers, Daryl Bess, and Tweeter0226. Thank you guys so much for your extremely generous support of this channel.